All right, so here's some questions for you. Why do we cry? Will we survive Mars? These are just a couple of the questions to be answered on the provocative news series, Glad You Asked. In each episode, Vox's top journalists go on a quest to answer some of YouTube's most searched and interesting questions. Two of those hosts join us now this morning. We have Joss Fong and Alex Clark. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is a brilliant idea of a show because you kind of forget, of course, there's Google where people are searching for things. And now these days, if you don't know how to do something or you want to see how it works, you just YouTube it, right? Like I feel like YouTube has everything for us and can show us anything. Where did this idea come to actually put a show about this?
Yeah, so YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. And essentially what this show does is it provides you a look at how we go through this journey and process and uncovering these questions, as well as gets you to the bottom of the explainer of like, what are the things that the YouTube audience wants to know?
Well, and I know you guys are journalists first, and certainly we here have news backgrounds as well. And it's interesting because I think when you put these shows and these pieces together, you have to make it visual as well. And you guys have done, from what I saw on that first episode of Why Do We Cry, you guys are doing a good job on that because you're trying to explain concepts that have got to be hard to put on video, correct?
They definitely are, and thank you for saying that. I'm glad it's coming across well, but I think one of the most exciting things about this show is that it's a really new format. So I don't think it's going to look like anything that you've seen before. You've probably seen YouTube vloggers, or you've seen documentaries, or you've seen, news shows.
Yeah.
But we've kind of blended a lot of different things into this. So we're drawing from stop motion animation, we're using props and toys, and we're going into the field, but we're also vlogging. It's a really interesting hybrid that I think is quite new.
I agree. So how did you narrow down these questions? Because I'm picturing just like you would, in a newsroom where you're trying to figure out the news of the day. How do you narrow down which questions you were actually going to answer? How did that work?
For our initial batch, we had 10 questions, and those kind of came across from a variety of sources. Some came from our audience who submitted them to us, and some were just the top questions that were trending on YouTube, on the internet, and we wanted to take the top ones on first. So we really sought out to address the ones that most people wanted to know about.
Which are the ones that you guys worked on that most intrigued you? Which favorite episodes do you have yet?
So I worked on the episode about why we cry, and it's something that I've been personally really interested in for a long time. There was a period in my life where I would keep a spreadsheet of everything that made me cry. And so I was able to pull that back up and look at it and try to learn something about myself. I think that when you look through your own sort of data about your tears, you can learn some really interesting insights about what's important to you.
And Alex, what about you?
And I'm currently working on an episode on loneliness, and it's something that I've thought about for a while. Are we truly in a loneliness epidemic? That's kind of been the line that's been shipped around, and we're trying to figure out if that's true and where to go from here.
Okay. Well, can I submit a question before we leave real quick? Maybe you can work on it for your season 2.
Absolutely.
So I have a newborn at home right now, and I'm just always constantly, he's 3 months old, and every day I'm thinking, what are you thinking? I would love to get in the mind of newborn babies, right? How do we get that out?
That's a great idea.
All right,
Yeah.
Jot it down, think of it for next season for me, okay?
Totally will, and that's going to be on our list, so thank you so much.
Thank you both. Enjoyed spending some time with you this morning. We'll put details on the new show on our website as well.